Good morning, everyone. Happy Easter. It's Easter Sunday. Have you said Happy Easter to your parents? Your brothers and sisters? Well, you know what I like to call it today? Happy Resurrection Day. Because Jesus, I better not spoil the story, but it's Resurrection Day, isn't it? And something amazing is going to happen. I hope you were here on Friday, because on Friday wasn't the nicest day for Jesus. As we were going through the eggs, they were quite sad, weren't they? It was good for us because Jesus died on the cross for our sins. But today is a very good day. I've got my Super Jesus t-shirt on because Jesus is going to do something super very soon, as you're going to see in the story. So, what do you remember from Friday? Do you remember that they put Jesus on the cross? And we did the eggs, we went through them on a donkey, a cup, coins, praying hands, the rooster, the whip, the crown, and then Jesus dying on the cross. Do you remember that? And it was sad, wasn't it? That all the people turned against him and put him on the cross to die. Now that was very sad, wasn't it? Now there were people on each side of him and they were mocking Jesus. There were people in the crowd, they were mocking Jesus, they were teasing Jesus, and everyone was against him. But you know what I love about Jesus? He wasn't even upset with them, was he? Do you know what he said before he died? He said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." He's so loving, isn't he? And so compassionate. He's not angry at them. He's not saying, "Father, punish them." He's not saying, "I can't believe you did this to me. How dare you put me on the cross?" He didn't say anything like that. He just said, "Father, forgive them." And just before he died, he looked up and he said, "Into your hands I commit my spirit." He wasn't afraid to die. "Into your hands." And he said, "It is finished," and he died. And that was Friday's story, wasn't it? But the story's not over. The story's not over. We've got some more eggs we're going to go through, aren't we? So, let's have a look at the first egg. What's in the first egg? Here we go. It sounds small. What is it? Oh, it's a spear. We'll put the spear over here. A spear. What does that have to do with anything? A spear. Maybe the next picture will tell us. Oh, that's right. That's right. So, Jesus was dead on the cross, but they didn't know if Jesus was dead. Maybe he was sleeping. Who knows? They weren't sure. So what they did, they got the spear and they put it on his side. You get it? Now just imagine he was sleeping. And the spear goes inside. Ah! You'd be screaming, "Ah, what are you doing, you crazy people? What are you stabbing with me with a spear?" But if you're dead, you're not going to feel it. So they put the spear in his side and Jesus didn't move. So now they were all convinced that he was dead. Everyone was convinced. Well, you know who wasn't there at the cross? His own disciples. They all fled. Except John, they all fled. How sad is that? They all abandoned Jesus. Only Jesus' mum and John was there. The rest of them, they ran away. They stayed with Jesus for 3.5 years, and Jesus' final moments on the cross, they abandoned him. What kind of disciples are they? Okay, so they put a spear on his side. What's the next egg? Oh, there's nothing in here. Can you hear anything? I don't think anything's in this egg. Oh, there's a cloth. A small cloth. It's a cloth. What's the cloth? Let's have a look. Ah, yes. When Jesus died on the cross, they took him down, and a guy by the name of Joseph Arimathea, really nice man, he said to the Roman soldiers, "Can I have Jesus' body?" They said, "What for?" "Well, I've got a brand new tomb, a big family tomb, which nobody's using, and I want that tomb for Jesus. I want to put him inside." And they said, "Yes." Now, because Jesus is bleeding, what they want to do is they want to wrap him up. See, that's what the cloth is. They're wrapping, you see how they're wrapping them up in cloth? And back in those days when they used to wrap people with cloths, they used to have two pieces. One really big piece for the body and one small piece for the head. They had two pieces of cloth they used to wrap them up. So I'm not sure which part they would start with first, but then I think they would start with the body, and then lastly they go over the head. So maybe if I can show you, I'm not sure how good I'm going to do it. So maybe they get the cloth and they wrap it around the head, and they go there, and you go like this, and it's round, and round, and around, like that. You see? Now I'm all wrapped up. I couldn't breathe. Oh, wow. So something like that. I hope you're not laughing. Was that funny? No, that wasn't funny. I couldn't breathe. All right. So they wrapped Jesus up in the cloth, and that's what the cloth is for, and they're going to take him to be buried. So what's our next? I hope it's not another cloth. What's our next egg? Oh, that's a loud sound. What do you think that one is? It's kind of heavy too. What is it? It's a stone. I think we know what this one is. Yeah, we do, don't we? When they put him in the tomb, let's go to the next picture, they carried him into the next tomb, and the tomb doesn't have a door, so they have to put a very big rock in front of it so no one steals the body, no one goes in, that a person, when they're dead, they're resting in peace, no one's bothering them. So they put a big rock in front of the door and they seal it so no one can go inside. So that makes sense. So they carry Jesus' body, they put him inside the tomb, as you can see he's all wrapped up, and then they put a big rock. Now, they've got guards there. So what are the guards doing there, do you think? Well, the Jewish leaders, they heard that Jesus' followers said that Jesus was going to rise after 3 days on the Sunday, and they thought, no, this is not going to happen. You know what? I reckon the followers of Jesus are going to steal the body and trick everyone and say Jesus rose from the dead. They were very suspicious of Jesus' disciples. So they ordered they asked the Romans can you guard the tomb just for 3 days? Because Jesus' followers said that Jesus is going to be raised on the third day. And they didn't really believe that. But do you think it was going to happen? So that's what happened. You can see the big stone here. And also you can see the guards. What egg are we up to now? Our last and final egg. Are you ready for it? Oh. Another cloth? Doesn't sound like anything. It's nothing. What, did they run out of things to give us? Did I get a wrong package? Why is there nothing in this? I can't put anything on the table. What happened? Was there supposed to be nothing in this egg? Do you know? We'll leave it there. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Okay, so this picture now is actually Sunday, today. So on the Sunday morning, the women, they're Jesus' followers, they wanted to ask the guards to maybe roll this rock away so they can put some spices and perfume on Jesus' body. So that's what they did. They were walking towards a tomb on Sunday morning. And you know what happened? An angel of the Lord came down, moved the stone, the big heavy stone, sat on top of the stone, and the guards saw this and ran away. They were so scared. There's such an amazing bright light, and they ran away. And when the women got there, they saw that the tomb was open and the guards were gone. They saw the angel, and the angel said, "Who are you looking for?" "We're looking for Jesus." And the angel said, "Well, he's not here. He's risen. God the Father has raised his Son from the dead, as was always predicted in the scriptures." We told you this was always going to happen, that Jesus cannot stay dead. And the women just wanted to go inside. They couldn't believe it. How can Jesus be raised from the dead? They saw him bleeding and dying on a cross, and now he's alive. Wow, that's the good news of Resurrection Sunday, that Jesus is not dead. He is alive. That's what it is. You see, it's empty because Jesus isn't there anymore. He's resurrected. The tomb is empty. That's why the last one is empty. Now we get it, don't we? And this is the good news, the great news. On Friday, it was sad, yes, what they did to him. But he wasn't dead for very long. Then Jesus appears to them. And you can see on the end of his hand there, you can see the blood stain from the nails they put in. And Jesus says, "Peace be with you. I'm alive." And look at his beautiful white clothes. "I'm alive and nothing's wrong with me," Jesus is saying. "This is my new resurrected body. This body is a brilliant body. I'm not sore. I'm not upset." Jesus is like, "I'm here. Now go back and tell the rest of the disciples that I'm alive." So Jesus comes up and he meets the rest of the disciples, the ones that abandoned him. And he comes into an upper room and he says to them, "Guys, I'm alive. I'm no longer dead. I'm alive and I'm well." And they were so happy. But there was one person who was not there. Where is it? That guy, Thomas. Thomas was not there. And he said, "Only if I put my fingers where the nails went, only if I see Jesus face to face, will I believe." And just as he's saying that, what do you think happened? Jesus appeared to Thomas also and said, "Touch me here. Touch my side where the spear went in. I'm alive. I'm alive." How many days did Jesus stay alive for? Do you know? After he resurrected, how many days was he alive for? Tell your parents. Parents, do you know? 40 days. 40 days he appeared to over 500 people. He travelled around Galilee, around the water. He ate. I had a picture before. He ate with people because they thought maybe he's a ghost. They were thinking, "Is this really Jesus? Didn't he die? This must be a ghost." And Jesus starts eating food and he says, "I'm not a ghost. I'm real. I've been resurrected." So we'll go to the last picture. So this is Thomas bowing down to Jesus saying, "My Lord and my God, I'm so sorry for doubting you. You are alive." That is magnificent. So after 40 days, Jesus had to say goodbye to his disciples. He showed everyone that he's still alive. And then he was going to heaven. But his last words are amazing, what Jesus said. He said to them, "Where I'm going, I'm going to prepare a place for you. In my Father's house there are many rooms. And where I'm going," Jesus said, "you will also come with me when you die." Did you know that? The good news of the resurrection, of Jesus rising from the dead, shows us that if we're in Christ, we will also rise from the dead. When Jesus was on the cross, the guy next to him, he started to believe in Jesus. And do you know what Jesus said? "Today you will be with me in paradise." Do you know what paradise is? The most best, amazing place forever. And that's where Jesus is right now. And he gives us a promise. He said, when you die, and it'll probably be for you kids another 80 years, 90 years, but whenever that time is, you don't have to worry because you're going to be with Jesus just like me. That's the good news. That Jesus died for our sins, that he resurrected, and we trust in Jesus. Jesus says, where I'm going, you're going to come also. I'm going to prepare in heaven. Jesus is in heaven preparing for you. He's saying to everyone, well, they're going to come very soon, whoever it is, and we've got a place ready for them. And it's going to be exciting. So I want to say, happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day. Jesus died and then he rose again for us. And we can trust in Jesus because Jesus is everything for us. His life, we can listen to him. His death, he died for our sins. And his resurrection, he's risen to the first one, risen from the dead, and he's preparing a place for us one day. And that is all good news. So, happy Easter. Have a great day. And I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.